Welcome to another episode of the We Are Not Regular podcast. I'm Kelly.
Hi guys, I'm Eva Diva, and we're back.
We are back
for another one.
Another one. And another one.
Side note, I really like this hair on me.
It looks amazing on you. You look great.
Vacation Eva, full effect.
I'm not on vacation, but I ain't got no kids.
That's vacation Kelly.
That's vacation Kelly.
That's vacation mama Kelly. Because mamas need a vacation too.
Always.
I preach that to all my mom friends.
For my family, you have no idea.
I tell all my mom friends, like when someone says, "Oh, I'll take them for an hour," do it.
Yes, your kids will be fine.
You
got trackers. Everybody got trackers on everything.
Do it.
You got iPhone. Find my
because
iPhones.
You got with your child 24.
And it feels great to reconnect with who I am.
Yeah, you're a person too. You're busy raising a human, teaching a human how to be a human, but then you're a human too.
Yeah.
So you have needs that you need to have met. Like moms always forget to like do things like eat, like mad normal things like paint your nails or like watch an hour of TV because you can't do those things.
I'm still trying to go to Puerto Rico.
You can go to Puerto Rico.
I'm not Puerto Rico. I need just one place, like one big trip away from here. Like away. That's not New York, because New York is not a vacation.
New York's not a vacation.
New York is not a vacation.
It's not a vacation.
If you are from there, it is not a vacation.
If you lived in New York for longer than 2 years,
it's
or
not
like
a vacation.
Kelly, where you were born and raised, it's not a vacation.
It's not a vacation. I promise you, it's not a vacation. It will wear you out. You'll be tired.
Because New York is an abusive boyfriend.
Think.
That I've been trying to break up with for 34 years.
Okay.
Well, actively for like 10 years.
So we're going to get right into this one, guys.
As you can tell, this episode is falling right onto topic because I'm dramatic.
And I'm apparently Ratchet. I found that out last night. I was told I was Ratchet. I didn't know that.
I thought she knew.
The group collectively told me I was Ratchet.
I love you.
So.
And the Ratchet in you, I love because it balances me out. But I'm dramatic. I knew I was dramatic. I didn't accept my dramatic. Pause. Shut up, Sheena. Because my sister does watch this and she does listen, and I know she's probably cackling right now. But I am dramatic. I have always been dramatic.
But it's okay. I know that she tends to overact and she overthinks things.
Put my heart and soul in everything.
And I have to talk her through it. Mm-hmm. And it's fine. Mm-hmm. That's her. Mm-hmm. It's her. She will have a situation and she will sit there and think of all of the worst case scenarios in that possible moment. Mm-hmm. And she will have a meltdown.
Yep.
And then we have to talk it through.
Yeah.
We talk it through. And she's okay.
Yeah.
Once she comes down from here to here, she's good. So we're not dramatic anymore.
But sometimes it might take me a little longer.
She needs the process.
From like here to here. You know?
So she came to the conclusion she is dramatic.
I am dramatic. And I've actually been dramatic all my life. So my dad has been trying to tell me that, childhood story. I used to throw tantrums because I am a dramatic child. And my dad, being the dad that he is, he used to like mock me. Like he used to throw the tantrum with me. And I used to stop because I'm just like, this is defeating the purpose of my tantrum.
Right.
If you are throwing the tantrum too. So I don't feel as important. Being that you are also throwing the tantrum too.
Right.
But I've been dramatic because everything with me is hard. Like I give my all. So dramatic for me is just like, because I pour everything.
Right.
I'm 100% all the time. When it comes to my friendships, if I call you a friend, I'm a friend. From the beginning moment, like I'm a friend. What do you want to do? What do you want to eat? You have this? Do you need this? If I'm able to provide it and I can do it, I do it for a friend. But then like I have like the friend meltdown, I guess. Well, you Kelly, you know me.
Like if I know her, and I know when I don't hear from her.
Yeah.
I know she's going through it.
Yeah.
And so I will just say, hit me when you're feeling ready
people
to talk.
Still don't understand that, which is really, really weird. Because, when
she goes MIA, I already know what time it is. I will call. I will get an answer. I will send a message. Holler at me when you are ready. And she knows what that means. Mm-hmm. And then however long it takes, sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's a few hours, sometimes it's a week. Girl is my text message. That's how it starts. Girl. And I know that it's been one of those weeks that she had to process some stuff and get through some stuff. And that's okay. Me as her friend, I know that about her.
And I will give like the whole theatrics of the whole story. Yeah. But as a friend, you always end up grounding me.
She'll go, Kelly, am I overthinking? Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And your answer is normally like, yes, you're overthinking it.
You may not be wrong, but you might just be overthinking it a little bit. Like, just give it some time. Sort it out, process it, come back. And if you feel the same way, then that's another conversation.
You're right. Thanks.
You're welcome.
For like putting in 20 years of hard work.
Yeah.
And you don't even have like a therapy degree. I feel bad for you sometimes because I am a lot. Like sometimes like it'd be like the stupidest thing. Like prime example, this whole like I've come to Florida by myself since I was like 22 years old.
Yep.
21 years old. I've been doing, but for some reason this time I was anxious and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to figure out how I can see Kelly and how I can do this and how I can do this and how I. But it's like, have fun. You do this every time that you come down.
Every year.
Nothing changes.
Nothing has changed. But except my location in Palm Beach County.
But I've been here twice already.
Mm-hmm. This year.
Like, yeah. And dramatic me is still like, oh my gosh, I have to figure out how the sun and the moon is going to fall in the same spot so that I can get the perfect flight.
How can I get to Miami from here? The same way we always get to Miami.
The same way you always get to Miami. They're like, girl, you can either take an Uber or a train. It works either way.
Is right. Straight down.
Straight.
It's not even, actually, I'm closer to Miami now.
You are closer to Miami than the other place. Yeah. It's a straight shot.
Straight shot down. So
I'm the dramatic friend.
And apparently I'm Ratchet. Now, I didn't know that about myself. I didn't know that. And I'm trying to honestly figure out how. Because Kyle said that. He said I'm starting to act like my friend Keisha. But he says it's a good thing. I think he likes that. Kyle likes a little bit of Ratchet. But I didn't think I was.
Because as much as it is quote unquote Ratchet, it's bold. The reason you're bold. There's a no hold bar with you.
I think that happened as I got older. Because
no.
You don't think so?
You've always had that.
I always felt that when I was younger, that I never spoke up for myself.
No.
And I used to get mad. Like seriously, because I would think in my mind of how I would have said something to you, or how I would have cursed you out, had I been quick with it. I'm not.
You spoke to those who mattered. If it was somebody who actually did something towards you, and it was someone who actually mattered to you, you spoke up. But if it was somebody that you didn't care about, there was no reason for you to react because it was nothing.
I guess so.
So you've always been that. Well, it's not Ratchet, it's bold. You've always been that. But me as a person, I have always surrounded myself with bold women. My friends have always been bold women because it's something that I've always admired. And you've always had that. So not Ratchet, but on some like.
Okay, so I could take bold.
You're bold.
Which I didn't know. So even then I was kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
I think I've had to step up as being a mom and
but
being a wife.
But before you were a mom, you were doing it before you were a wife.
Yeah, I had my phase. I think once I moved to Florida and then I had kind of like had to navigate life by myself, I think I had no choice.
I think that alone time that women get is where you figure out what kind of quote unquote woman that you are. Because you know how they normally they put women into like certain categories. You're either like very dramatic, you're ratchet, or you're like
super square.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So like I feel like that alone time with women is where you figure out like, okay, that's when I realized like I'm very dramatic. I'm okay with being dramatic because you're going to pay attention if you're not. If you're not going to pay attention, then I'm not going to pay attention to you. So like, my dad he still takes me being dramatic. He puts up with me, but he's also dramatic. So we are dramatic together.
That makes sense.
It's a unit. My family is a dramatic unit that just.
See, like, Kyle always says I'm trying to be too gangster all the time. He's like, yo, you always be too tough. You act like you don't cry. You act like you ain't got no feelings.
But you've come from a bold, but that's when I say it's not ratchet, it's boldness. You've come from a bold family because I said this earlier to Kelly. She's like her dad.
Yeah.
That boldness that you have is from your father. And your daddy's girl. So it's like, we are both daddy's girl, but we're like opposite daddy girls. Like I'm like the.
You're like, yeah.
Daddy, take me. And Kelly's like, hey, daddy, let's go to this game.
I was always that. Yo, dad, let's go to the movies. Let's do this. And we like the same type of movies. We like we're like straight bang bang shoot 'em up action movies. Yeah. Daddy and I talk about the gun range. Like that's the daughter I was.
Like I'm that daughter from my dad, but I'm also the one who's like.
But you're the baby though.
I'm the baby.
You're the baby, and I'm the oldest, and I think that's a big difference because I didn't have time to be baby that much with my dad. Like when my dad first had his child, I'm the first child. He didn't know how to be a dad like that, coddling. You know, he was just kind of like, all right, Kelly, you can figure this out. Let's do this. Come on, come on, chop, chop.
My dad used to run behind. We still like there's still jokes with my dad from running behind me as a kid, like making sure that I don't fall because I was that like I'm a princess and I like playing into my princessness as
it's all right.
Wine.
Guys, this is like our second bottle. It's all right. Anyway, so
yeah, like I'm a daddy's girl. It's we are both the daddy's girls on like we're the same spectrum but opposite ends. Like, oh my gosh, what movie was it with Denzel? What was the football movie? Any Given Sunday?
No.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans.
Do you remember the two daughters? Mm-hmm. Where it was like the little white girl was like, I know, yes, and the little black girl was like, that's us. Yeah. Not calling you white, but like you was the one who was just like, no, I know the score is yada 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 yada, and I'm on the one who's on the side like, Daddy, can we go now?
Yes. I think maybe that's why I felt like I never I can't say I fit in with my sisters. But I think I was very much different than them. Yeah. One, they're closer in age than I am with them. But they're very much like, I don't know. It's I always just felt like I was very rough around the edges compared to them.
Because you were the first. Like I do think when it comes to the first child, there is more of a it's okay. So when it comes to, we were talking about this in the last episode. When it comes to raising humans, it is trial and error because nobody knows how to do this. There is no right way to raise a person. There is no wrong way to raise a person. The whole idea when it comes to birthing children and raising humans is you want the person to be the best human that they can be. So whatever falls into that, whether it is someone who is good in nature or just good to people, like you try to raise the person that you have to be a good person, like you, a good human.
Right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kyle.
KG in the back.
Yo.
Shout out to him because he's a good dad. He's raised his children to be good humans. Like,
Outside A-Tray gang.
Yeah. Like, but this is
prime example. West A-Tray gang, so I'm just from the south side.
But like, that's example. Like, when I talk about raising kids, like, you raise your children to be good humans.
Right.
And like, and then that broads out to be like, there's the dramatic human. Like, I'm a good human, but somehow I got the dramatic gene. Where I got it from, I don't know.
So I'm working on trying to be softer.
I'm working on trying to be softer too, because even though I am dramatic, I'm dramatic and rough. I'm dramatic and I will shut down. So it's on some, what do you mean I can't do this, and fuck it, I'll do it by myself.
Yeah. I want to learn to be a little more vulnerable.
I do.
Like, I want to be able to, like we were talking earlier off camera, like, I want to be able to come in.
And had a good conversation at Walmart.
We did. I want to be able to come in, and then, yes, I have to be tough in the world and the type of work I do, criminal justice and the system I work in. Yes, I have to, it's tough. I have to be tough with people on the phone. I have to be very forward. I have to be direct. But I want to come home and I want to bring a baby. This is what happened. I don't like people. Oh my God. Like, I want to be able to do that. Like, I want to be able to be soft. I want to be coddled. I want to be told I'm okay and protected and feel safe. Like, that's what I want. And I don't want to feel like I have to keep a guard up and be tough 24/7.
I think that's what most women are missing.
Especially Black women.
Black women, absolutely. But I also think there is a disconnect with Black men because Black men don't know how to offer that to Black women. And I think that goes back to the way everything goes back to the way you're raised, because I feel like if you're raised by a strong Black woman, you don't know how to open up to a Black woman who actually needs to be coddled to. So
newsflash, men, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no.
A woman can be independent.
Mm-hmm.
She could be strong,
and
she can still want to be coddled and still want to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
The problem is, and I've always said this, women have always given a man in their life, at least one man in their life, a chance. She's given him multiple chances. She's been vulnerable and was hurt.
Absolutely.
So when she moves on to the second guy that she's been with, the third guy, or whatever the situation is, you're not going to have as many chances as that first man had.
I've recently became guarded, which is funny because with all my past relationships, I'm a very open person. I don't like to hold past grudges on your relationships. I try to be, because my past doesn't have any direct reflect on who I'm dating. Like, right. You know, it's not your issue what I've been through. I have to deal with what I have to deal with, and then what you bring to me is different.
Right.
But I've learned over the last maybe 1 or 2 relationships that I've been into that I've been like closed. And I've been closed because the relationships, this also comes to me in choosing the men that I've chose, because I've also I'm not going to sit here and say that I've chose the best, because as women, we fuck up. We are quick to blame that it's the men, but we also choose these men. We choose these men to sleep with. We choose these men to have babies with. We choose these men to be in relationships with. It also falls on us. Mm-hmm. And I have not always chosen the best men to be with.
Right.
So I've also closed in. And I had a conversation with the last guy that I dated. He was one of the ones that after we broke up, we sat down and like actually had open dialogue, and he was like, you shut down.
Right.
He told me, he was like, you shut down. He was like, at one moment I felt like you were opening up and then you just closed back up. And I was like, I do that at a point where I don't feel safe. Mm-hmm. So the moment that it's like a clam, mm-hmm. where I feel like something's not right or something's wrong, I'll close up and I'll get guarded and get hard and put up the exterior. And then I'm still dramatic, but I'm dramatic it becomes dramatic in a toxic way.
Right.
Where I'm thinking about all the past shit that has happened to me. Right. So I become dramatic and then I think they're cheating. I think there's someone else. I think that all the worst things are happening. And that's the dramatic.
Right.
Instead of being dramatic where like it's full sunshine and the butterflies are flowing. Because that's dramatic too. Like I can still have the dramatic outlook on it. It doesn't have to be dark clouds and like anger. It can be dramatic and be fucking Snow White out this bitch.
Right.
Like, you know?
Just like I think with me being quote unquote bold or ratchet. Like I don't think I'm ratchet. I think when I say I'm bold, as in when I feel my feelings are being invalidated, you're not taking me seriously. You think everything I'm saying is a joke or it's not as important. Now I have to get mean. Now I have to get tough. And now I have to say, no, nigga, this is why I feel X, Y, and Z. And if you think it's a game, you could take your ass and keep it moving.
And I don't get that. I get dramatic. I get the bold, like, whoosh.
Yeah. When I don't feel I'm being respected, now I get mean.
Yeah.
Like, don't invalidate me. You don't have to agree.
You
don't have to agree with me. You don't have to think I'm right. You don't have to, but don't invalidate my feelings and make me feel like I'm small or I'm not important or how I'm feeling isn't important, especially if you know you're wrong. Yeah. You're dead wrong.
I think that's why our friendship works though, because I can be dramatic and you can be bold, and it's something that we both need to hear.
Yes.
Like I can be dramatic and you still put me in my place.
Like when we were talking yesterday, like when Jeff was telling us, he's like, yo, women always would be the yes girl, like the yes person to their friends. Like, oh girl, yes, you should be. I don't think I've ever been like that with her. Like, I can't say, like, even with me, with being upset in my relationships, I'd be like, yo, he did X, Y, Z. And even be like, Kelly, you know how you are. And you know how you respond to certain things. So is he 100% wrong?
Or just how you're feeling is how you're responding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I got to sit back and I have to have that uncomfortable conversation with myself. Now I'm like, oh, damn, did I really overreact? Like, I need a minute to really process it.
And that's me, because I can be the dramatic, because I'm so used. So the relationships that I have been in with have always had like a dramatic, like, Romeo and Juliet ending, but I don't die.
Like, even to be like, oh my gosh, he didn't call me. I don't think he's interested. I don't know what this. I said, even did he work like 12 hours last night? Was he able to pick up the phone?
Well, he's still at work now. And she's like, well, you see how KG threw his arms in back, like, well,
I know.
Like, no, like it's the whole grounding thing where like it's the understanding.
Right.
And I may not always be, I may not always be fully understanding of how overly dramatic I can be.
Right.
And I realize me being over dramatically also pays into my anxiety. Because that's when I'm just in my head. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all I smoke weed. But like when I smoke is when my brain is able to like.
You might have to pass that bottle along, girl.
Wine.
There you go.
My brain is able to like slow down and like figure out like, okay, relax, pump your brakes. Let's think about this objectively.
Right.
Because on a normal basis, my brain is just like, no, drama. Storyline. It's like rent in my head, 525 all day long. And then when I smoke, it's just like, okay, we're on intermission. And it's like, what do you actually want to focus on?
Right.
And it's like, okay, if this is the issue, focus on this issue.
I agree. Sometimes that's why it's very, very important to have a good support system and a good group of women in your life. And men. Because men will tell you how men feel. Listen, when a man tells you how he feels, listen to him. Don't think that, he might be, no.
I've been saying this to women a lot more, is men have always told us exactly how they felt.
Always.
But we've decided that it wasn't enough for us. They'll tell us how they felt. They'll tell us how their day went or how something went. And because we can't comprehend it, it's not enough for us.
Yeah.
So then we're trying to deep down dig and decipher what actually happened, when it's whatever he said on the surface is enough that he wants to tell us right now. He'll eventually tell us more, but like us digging and trying to like break the puzzle, it's like a puzzle. You can't change the pieces in the puzzle. If it's a corner piece, you can't turn it into a middle piece in the board.
You know where I blame that at? But they told us when we were younger. Yeah. When we were a lot younger, if a boy's mean to you, he likes you. If a boy hits you, he likes you. No. He might really just not like you. He might really not like you. But we're thinking that, his actions don't necessarily meet how he really feels. So we're reading more into it than we need to. No, he might not just like you. If a man says, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, he doesn't want to be in a relationship with you.
And if that's
simple
what
as that.
He's saying, then stop trying to force these men into like there's so many people in this world where like it hurts to not be in the relationship. We've all been here. It hurts not to be in the relationship with the person that you want, that you feel like is the person that you want to be with.
Right.
But if they do not want to be with you, why do you want to put someone in a position where they're going to be miserable? Because that's all it's going to cause. You're going to sit there, you're going to be miserable. You're going to work, quote unquote, work things out, and then you're stuck.
The man tells you
married. You're stuck.
He doesn't want
20 years down the line, you get divorced because you should have never got married in the first place, and then you wasted majority of your happiness. I talk about this when it comes. Sorry, Cairo. I talk about when it comes to families and parents trying to co-parent. It's better to see children who have separate parents and the co-parent than the parents trying to figure out how to work this together when they know that's not going to work. Because why would you want your child to see you unhappy when they can see you happy, and they can see mommy happy, they can see daddy happy? They don't necessarily have to be together, but they can see the dynamic of my mom is happy, my dad is happy.
Yes. It's okay if he doesn't want to be with you. Yes, life happens. You might have a kid. You might do this. It'll suck. It'll suck in the beginning.
Because it's not what you wanted.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's really okay. Like, let that man live. And let that woman live.
And then the crazy thing about life is once you die, it don't matter anyway.
I know. Let them live.
Literally at the end of the day, it does not matter anyway, because there is no script to this. No. There's no manual. There's no final instruction. There is no manual to life. You can live it in any vast, whatever. If I decide right now that I don't want to fuck with America and I want to go live in the Amazon rainforest, technically I can do it. I can pack my shit up, move to the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I might not make it, but I can do it. There's no restriction.
Right.
There is no restriction on life. You just have to choose what you want to do and how you want to move through it. And the things, I think what we're like trying to talk about is like, even though we're dramatic and bold, you can maneuver life however you want.
Right.
my dramaticness doesn't take from the person that I am. I'm dramatic because I care a lot. I put 110% in everything that I do, from what I work on to my friendships. When I stop putting in on my friendships is when they die.
Yeah.
Because I don't care anymore. Friendship, 23 years, the reason our friendship worked as way is because we put in work to make our friendship work.
It took work.
It took work. This shit was not easy.
No.
So if it wasn't for Kelly, we would not be where we are, because you initiated the work for us to get here. And I was being dramatic at the time. And you were being bold.
Yeah.
That is the connection of our friendship.
Yeah. I mean, because even being younger, like teenagers, we went through some really rough stuff during our teenage years. And like, Eva would come to me like, yo, Kelly, everybody thinks you're X, Y, Z. And I was like, Eva, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I really don't care.
You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, Kelly. And you're just like,
she's like, you should care. Like, you should really care how people think of you. I was like, I don't.
I don't care. From day one, she's like,
I don't care. Like, I don't know.
And for the longest, and this is why, as you see us record together, this was the importance of our friendship, is because that's what I draw from you. That's what I get from you. I get the boldness. And I hope you get some of the dramatic from me.
I do. I'm
like,
super dramatic.
Yeah, like I want you to be like, I'm the best mother in the world. We told her that yesterday,
really,
when she was just like, I don't understand why everyone asks me to find things. I was like, well, if you find things, if somebody asks you to find something, you find it every time.
Every single time.
She's like, everybody asked me to look for stuff. I was like, well, you gave them the answer where it was again.
Because I knew where it was. But I mean, like, I don't know. Eva has taught me to let go. Like,
there told me to hold on.
Yeah,
wow.
She has definitely taught me to let go. Like, it's okay to not be in control of everything. And for me, that is, you definitely did.
How?
Because you're like, Kelly, you can't do it all. Like, you always told me, like, you can't do everything. It's okay. It's okay if it doesn't work out. Everything will come together. Like, it's okay if you don't have
to my own advice.
Because that's how we are. I don't listen to my own advice. I tell you some really good shit. Like, I tell you some really fire stuff that I feel like I should write down and make some money off of. And I don't listen
to my journal.
I don't listen to my own advice. I'm just not like that. Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm trying to be better.
But that's the dynamic of a friendship. When you have friends who actually pull that out of you, I don't think, because we became friends before social media, I think it's harder for younger women to actually design that type of friendship.
I appreciate her because she knows me before I was a mom. Yeah. And she reminds me that that's not my role all the time, 24/7. Damn it, Cairo, no, it's just Kyle. Oh no, somebody's walking. Sorry guys, I got a fake guard dog. He's a guard dog. No, he's a guard dog, though, for real though.
He's
just
my boyfriend. He don't leave my side when I come down here.
It's all right, Cairo. We know. Oh no, he's about to make a guest appearance. Say hi. Cairo. Say hi, baby. All right, go lay down now. All right. No. Okay, we might have to. Can't even remember what we was talking about.
No.
But
we're good people in the world. That's what we're That's
humans.
The story.
We're not
humans.
Humans.
Yeah. I think, you know what? I also think that has to do with my job, because like we use like canine and cat and human. I mean, because I work for a pharmacy, so like we're very like
that makes
specific
sense
on what humans are terrible. Yeah. Like, okay, serious question.
Okay.
Should like we have to have like, should the human population have to like everything is shut down tomorrow?
Right.
Do you think humanity will make it? Like, who do you think from humanity will be like, okay?
I think the upper class, like when I say upper, like the 1.01%, they're gone. They don't know how to do shit by themselves. Everything is technology.
I think they're going to try to run away to another planet. They're going to try to go
and they still won't know how to do it.
They're going to go to Mars and the moon and realize that everybody on Earth takes care of everything for them, so they don't know how to survive on their own, so they're gonna die.
Yes.
You ever watched the 100?
Yeah.
So back when I was like on apocalyptic TV, you know, including things like The Purge and shit, there's a TV show on CW called The 100, and that was like the whole premise of it. Like there was a big catastrophe on Earth. Everyone went up people on it, but like the space stations they were like breaking down, so they had to figure out a way to get back down to Earth.
Right.
So they sent 100 kids, because we're terrible humans. So they sent kids
to have to do the next generation
to do the dirty work. But Earth survived. Like people on Earth survived. So it was how people on Earth survived and how people were coming down and the whole dynamic of.
Yeah, I think the people that. Yeah, I don't think they're aliens though. I think that's the name that we came up with them.
Well, because they're not
native to this planet. But I do think there's life on other planets, and not even necessarily planets, other galaxies. Because I mean, we're one of millions.
So I'm like one of those conspiracy theorists who are like, there's something up with our oceans. I don't think other life is outside of Earth.
Really?
As seen above, as is below. I think our fucking water is littered.
I think it's both.
Extraterrestrial life.
I think both. I think that there
I've
are
also been a
stuff.
flat earther at some point in my life, which I don't think the Earth is flat.
Right.
But I do think the quote unquote shape of the world is not what it, because it doesn't make sense to me. If that makes any sense.
I hear you.
It's not flat.
It's
not a plane.
I think it is what it is, but I'm agreeing with you in the fact that I do think that there is stuff below.
Absolutely.
The ocean is way deeper than we have.
Explored.
You can't even go down.
I believe it's only 9% of our oceans that we have actually explored.
Yes.
And if you think about the animals that we've seen that we have explored, if you think about the actual size of just a whale alone, compared to us, imagine the shit that we have.
This is the dramatic ego, guys.
This is dramatic ego who sits up to fucking 2-3 o'clock on YouTube, watching things about plants and animals and what we don't know, and the animals that have now just because in the Amazon rainforest is what every 12 minutes an animal go extinct, but then it's like every 20 minutes we discover a new animal. So it's just like Mother Earth will survive with or without us. We help, but she does not need us. We are the roaches.
I think it's so selfish to think that we're the only life form.
We are the roaches of humanity.
Galaxy. And period. I think there's so much.
And I feel like that would be limiting God.
To
only think that He created humans and animals. No.
Every time we take a break, we never remember where we're at, and it's getting worse and worse.
But that's because life happens and we keep moving in the way that it's going. There's no such thing as time. Time is fake.
Basically.
Sorry, hippie Eva came out. Vacation Eva is hippie Eva.
Yeah, so I think we're going to slowly wrap up this episode.
Yeah.
We had a great time.
I do. I realize that I am the dramatic friend, and I'm okay with being dramatic.
And I'm apparently Ratchet, but that's fine.
It's the balance, because you need a little dramatic and you need a little Ratchet to pull you together. It's the dynamic of Black women.
I think they say you need at least 5 women in your life as your support system. Somebody, because you need someone to go to when you can't go to.
When you can't.
One person is busy, so you need somebody else. I think it's your circle should be at least 5. I'm not there yet.
I'm not. Yeah, no.
But I got a solid 3, 4. 3.
I mean, I'm not that far, but Kelly's enough to tell me like, yo, you're wildin'.
Yes. Yeah. We're getting there.
Yes, you know.
But I want you guys to really comment and let us know what we can improve on.
Like, subscribe on everything. YouTube, Spotify,
Anchor,
Apple Music,
Apple, Google Podcasts. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we can improve on, what we can work on. We're definitely trying
how y'all actually feel about like
and even topics.
Yeah.
Like how y'all feel about what we spoke about.
How y'all feel about dramatic women? How y'all feel about
ratchet
women? Because
and what's ratchet? Because I still don't think I fall in that category, but I would like to know what ratchet is.
And dramatic to me is, okay, so I live my life like it's The Wiz, but not The Wiz the play, The Wiz the movie.
Because that was better.
Diana Ross.
I mean, I can see the play. But Diana made The Wiz.
And that's where I'm like dramatic, like Diana Ross. Yeah.
Like I'm not ghetto, but I don't know.
I mean,
let me know what you think.
Remy's awesome.
I love Remy. I think she's gorgeous too.
She's fucking stunning.
She's gorgeous.
Like face card on 1,000.
Yes, I love the way
Puppy loves her. Is that how face cards work?
I think Kyle finally loves me like that now. Is that crazy?
No, he's always loved you like that.
But he's actually
finally see that he loves you like that.
I think he's actually showing it just a little bit. Just a little
bit. How does like Instagram, like how does face cards work? Because it's like face card on 100 or like face card. Because I think I'm pretty, but I don't know. Like it's like face card. I'm not social media savvy, so I don't know how to like.
I think I'm cute, but
I'm cute.
I'm not like sexy.
Yo, I didn't feel sexy until I came to Florida and we were standing in a Walmart parking lot.
And people were checking her out. They definitely were.
Homeboy slowed down.
And rolled the window down and just stared.
I need to come to Florida.
That's what I have to work on. I want to be sexy. Like, and not necessarily like meaning dress less or whatever. The confidence. I want to.
Well, I mean, I put on the confidence when I put on the big hair. It comes with the wig.
I think that maybe that's what it is. I need to do something different. Because when I change my hair, I'm a different person.
The wig has the confidence like locked in the curls, and it just like drips throughout the day.
So I think that's a good podcast topic. I think the next time
the wig dripping confidence?
No, like how to be, I mean, I guess, and like being sexy and what that means. Because
sexy is different for everyone.
For everybody.
My sexy isn't your sexy.
Right. And I think I need to consult some guys. Not the one I married though. Somebody. No, I'm lying. I obviously should consult him, but he ain't gonna tell me.
No, his sexy.
It might be different. That is true.
The sexy of other men will see from you because his sexy is what he wants to see from you, and what other men is what is just portrayed.
Right.
That's
a topic.
That's another episode.
That's another episode. So we're gonna wrap up on this one. This has been another episode of the We Are Not Regular podcast.
Yes.
We are going to try to do the next couple ones together again.
Because we are a family.
We are.
Like a binding tree.
And then, we'll still have to do our Zoom when we're in a separate space.
And it will still be Vacation Eva because I will still technically be on vacation.
I'll be on vacation this time. You'll be home, but I'll be on vacation.
But I'll be in New York home.
But I will be in New York, Kelly. We'll see how that pans out because I have no idea what that's going to look like this weekend, considering I have a wedding and a birthday party. So we'll see how that works.
New York Eva is bald.
We might have to do I think the next one is going to be a Southside podcast. That's what it's going to call Southside. All right, y'all. We out. Peace. Bye. Have a good one. Deuces.